A young woman smiles into her phone camera from the balcony of a luxury resort in Mexico. It's her first trip outside of Canada. Her birthday is days away. Behind her, infinity pools, palm trees swaying in warm wind, white stone terraces glowing under the afternoon sun. The kind of place advertised as untouchable, 5-star, gated, private, secure. Guests are told they'll never need to step beyond the property. Everything they could possibly want exists inside those walls. But just outside those gates, the rules are different. In this region, local businesses are widely known to pay a tax to organized crime. Control is maintained quietly, consistently, and when someone refuses, consequences follow. Two worlds exist side by side: paradise and pressure, vacation fantasy and territorial enforcement. So how does something catastrophic unfold inside a resort designed to feel impenetrable? Who truly has access to a place that promises total security? And what happens when chaos erupts in the middle of a curated slice of heaven? Tonight, we're walking through 7 unsettling details that make this case impossible to forget. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Famous Crime Cases, where we uncover stories that challenge what you think you know about humanity. Kiara Agnew was 23 years old. She lived in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. In early March 2023, she traveled to Playa del Carmen with her boyfriend, Ryan Friesen, to celebrate her upcoming 24th birthday. This was her first time leaving Canada. She had always wanted to travel, so much so that she once convinced her mother to get a passport so they could explore the world together. Mexico was only the beginning. Snorkeling in the Riviera Maya, visiting Mayan ruins, long beach days, late-night dinners. Family members received short videos that first evening. Kiara looked relaxed, happy, glowing in that way people do when something long-awaited finally becomes real. In the final video she ever recorded, she stands on the balcony of their room and says they've just settled in. They're about to grab food and head to the beach. Less than 12 hours later, she would be gone. On the night of March 2nd, surveillance cameras captured Kiara and Ryan at a resort bar just before midnight. They were drinking together, laughing. Nothing appeared unusual. Shortly after, cameras showed them leaving. That is the last confirmed footage of Kiara alive. From that moment forward, the timeline fractures. Investigators would eventually have to rely almost entirely on a single account, the one provided by the only other person with her that night. And that raises a troubling question. If a luxury resort has layered security, restricted access, and constant staff presence, why does so much of what happened next depend on just one person's version of events? At approximately 2:55 a.m., a resort cleaner entered a laundry facility on the property. Inside, he found Kiara and Ryan lying on the floor. They were positioned side by side. Ryan's feet near Kiara's head. She was unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The cleaner later reported visible blood on the walls outside the laundry room and across the floor. He described signs consistent with a struggle. The door was partially open. According to him, it did not lock. Ryan appeared intoxicated. He did not wake immediately when the cleaner tried to rouse him. When he finally did, the cleaner claimed Ryan attempted to run upstairs before staff restrained him until authorities arrived. 2 people in a room they shouldn't have been in. One no longer alive. From a procedural standpoint, everything now hinged on preservation. Who saw what first, whether anything had been moved, what the scene revealed before narratives began to form. Ryan later told investigators that after leaving the bar, the couple returned to their room and argued. He has never publicly detailed what that argument was about. He claimed he fell asleep. Around 2:30 a.m., he said he woke up and Kiara was gone. Then he heard screaming. According to Ryan, he followed the sound through the resort grounds to a laundry room. He claimed the door was locked and that he pounded on it until someone inside opened it. He alleged that Kiara had been assaulted by multiple unknown men, 3 or 4 individuals inside that room. But there is no surveillance footage showing Ryan's path from the hotel room to the laundry area. No video of anyone entering or leaving the laundry room. No documented physical evidence clearly confirming multiple attackers were present. In a gated resort, in the middle of the night, How would multiple assailants enter and exit unseen? Or were they already inside? Authorities documented injuries on Ryan. Lacerations on his right hand and foot, swelling on his left hand, a bite mark, blood on his clothing, hands, and feet. These observations were recorded before explanations evolved, before legal strategies solidified. Meanwhile, there were no recorded defensive injuries on Kiera that clearly supported a prolonged fight against multiple attackers. The physical evidence did not immediately align with the version of events involving several unknown men, but it also did not conclusively answer everything. Ryan was charged with femicide under Mexican law, the most serious charge related to violence against women.
Have arrested a Canadian man after his girlfriend was found dead at a resort south of Cancun. The victim has been identified as 23-year-old Kiara Agnew from Dawson Creek, BC. Her family and friends have launched a GoFundMe campaign to bring her body back home. According to that page, her relatives were notified of her death on Friday. On the same day, Mexican police tweeted that a foreign national was being investigated for femicide. Prosecutors said the man was in custody and the case was being studied for possible charges.
The case proceeded as a judge-only trial in Quintana Roo. No jury. The verdict would rest entirely on judicial interpretation of the evidence. During trial proceedings, forensic analysis revealed Ryan's DNA was not found beneath Kiera's fingernails. However, one unknown male DNA profile was identified. The judge accepted expert testimony suggesting the severity of Kiera's injuries could indicate more than one attacker. In September 2024, Ryan was found not guilty. But that verdict did not identify any alternate suspects. It did not explain how unknown individuals entered or exited the property undetected. And it did not answer the most basic question: what happened in that room? After his acquittal, Ryan proposed a new explanation: cartel involvement. He claimed the resort had refused to pay criminal groups operating in the area and that Kiera was targeted as a warning. The theory was investigated by journalists, including a team from W5 News. They traveled to Playa del Carmen and spoke to a long-standing member of the Sinaloa cartel, identified only as Alberto. He confirmed that criminal organizations do exert influence and collect payments from businesses. But he rejected the idea that cartels would carry out a killing inside a private resort room. Cartel violence, he explained, is strategic and public, meant to send unmistakable messages. It is rarely hidden in back corridors of tourist properties. A concealed assault in a laundry room? That didn't fit their pattern. So the cartel theory introduced possibility, but not consistency. Then there was the journal. Before Mexico, before the resort, before the birthday trip, Kiera had written about her relationship. Her sister testified that the entries described escalating violence when alcohol was involved. She wrote about being struck, about begging for it to stop, about him passing out and later claiming he didn't remember. One chilling line stood out: "If I am ever missing or found dead, you know who did it." A journal does not determine guilt. It does not replace forensic evidence, but it provides context. It sketches patterns. It narrows plausibility. Was what happened in Mexico a random, isolated tragedy? Or the final chapter of something already unfolding?
Good evening and thank you for joining us. And we begin with breaking news tonight in the case of a Dawson Creek woman murdered in Mexico. Kiera Agnew's boyfriend is now guilty in connection to the 23-year-old's death. After a review of the case by a Mexican magistrate, Ryan Friesen's not guilty ruling has been overturned. Kiera was at a 5-star resort in Playa del Carmen nearly 3 years ago. Friesen was charged in her killing, was found not guilty by a Mexican judge. Ryan was found asleep beside her body in a resort laundry room with swollen fists, bruises, and covered in blood. Global Affairs Canada has reached out to Kiera's family, telling them that Friesen is now considered guilty. When asked about Kiera's murder, the state deputy prosecutor responded that she believed it was established beyond a reasonable doubt that the crime was committed by Ryan.
After the not guilty verdict, Mexican prosecutors appealed. An independent magistrate reviewed the case and overturned the acquittal in December 2025, stating the original ruling could not stand. Ryan filed an amparo appeal, now under review by a panel of federal judges. He remains in Canada while proceedings continue. If the conviction is upheld, he could face up to 50 years in prison. Meanwhile, Kiera's family has advocated for legislative change, proposals for mandatory Canadian forensic reviews in suspicious overseas deaths, expanded consular support, and potential jurisdiction in cases involving Canadian citizens abroad. Protests were organized. Petitions circulated. But beneath legal complexities and cross-border procedure is a single, unchanging reality. Kiera left Canada for her first international trip. She never came home. The resort still operates. Guests still arrive, sip cocktails by the pool, and film sunset videos from their balconies. The gates remain closed. The question is what, exactly, they keep out and what they don't. If you found this story meaningful, consider subscribing to Famous Crime Cases for more real-life investigations and human stories.